You are welcome to this new exciting video tutorial, and in today's video we'll be looking at three CSS property: display, align item, and justify content. We'll be looking at their different usage and how to use it. So stay tuned as we get started. Welcome back. Here's my HTML file and I have a parent div which I gave a class of length flex, and some divs are embedded in it with a general class of item. So let's run down to our CSS and give those items some styling. Background, let's give it a background color of black, then width 200 pixel and height 200 pixel. So now these are the items we can see. For us to know that all the items are there, let me give it a margin bottom of 20 pixel. We can see these are the items, but for now we are going to remove this. We want to work with one. Later we're going to work with everything. So we are talking about display, align items, and justify content. So now when do we use this? So on this parent div, I want to give it a class, a property of display. So dot len flex display. So, and the value we'll be working with is flex. So this display flex gives room for flexibility on any web element we are working on. So with this display flex, we are also going to talk about two more property: justify content and align item. Justify content and align item. So let me give it height of 100 VH. Now, the justify content and the align items allows us to be able to position the web element relative to the height and width of the container. So here is the container length flex. It is the flex container since we are giving a display of flex. So the justify content and the align items allows us to be able to position this web element in relative to the height and the width. So now by default it is starting from here, you can see. So let me push this up. All right, so align items, we can have a value of start and justify content start. By default this is where it's going to be. Now with this align item and justify content, I can move this web element to the center here. So this is the starting point, so I can move it to the starting point center. So in my align items I will have start, and justify content I'm going to change it to center. You see, it moves to the center. Now we are trying to manipulate the web element and make it more flexible. We are flexible with it. So I can move it to the end of the starting point. So I can change it to end. End. It moves it to the starting point end. So also, due to the flexibility of display flex, I can move it down here. That's to the center starting point. So I can change this to center. By default it's going to start from there. Start, that's the default. I can also move it to the center and I can move it to the end. Now I can also move this to the end, start. So I can change this to start and this end. By default it is there. I can change this to the center and I can also change this to the end. So the display flex allows us to be able to manipulate the web elements using align item alongside with align items and justify content. No, we are just talking about three properties: display, align items, and justify content. So now we can have more than one web element in a flex container. So let us comment this. Now we're going to be using this broader view. Yes. So now we can have more than one web element in a flex container. So when we're using the flex, We can use the justify content. Let's move this back to start. We can use the justify content to automatically give space between them by saying justify content space between. Now let's check it out. You see this, it gives it an automatic space, but because of this white we are using, we can't see the space here. You see, so the justify content, we can use space between to give space between the uh, flex item in the flex container. So also with the justify content, we can give space around instead of space between. So it's going to give space between the flex item and also around it. So let's refresh. You can see it gives space between it and also around it. With this 3 property, it is very convenient and easy for us to manipulate web elements and do a lot of things with them. I call them the 3 magical words: display, align items, justify content. You can easily use it to center a div. You can manipulate web elements. It gives room for flexibility. Please, if not subscribed to my YouTube channel, don't forget to subscribe. I'll be posting more quality coding content. Thank you very much.